Hello everybody, it's Pineapple here, back with another video. So, if you're unfamiliar, Kashtira has just hit Master Duel, and I wanted to play it because, I'm an evil human being. I like, locking zones, ripping from the extra. It's very enjoyable. And so subsequently, I started playing Adventure Cash, and here's the list that I sort of came to the conclusion that was reasonably playable. Now, obviously, there are some things that are missing because I don't have a whole ton of UR dust, but obviously, I'd prefer to be playing stuff like, of course, Dimension Shifter, but I didn't really have Dimension Shifter, and it's a UR, so we didn't play Dimension Shifter, but the deck was fine either way, just because, ripping kick callous is enough. So let's just hop into the card by card. Of course, we're playing Max C. I don't know what you want from me. It's Master Duel. This format's terrible, but we gotta play what you gotta play in order to win, so we're playing Max C. We're playing 2 copies of Side Beast. If you're unfamiliar with this card, it was only played in, pre-Photon Hypernova lists, which were just terrible things. But when it's normal summon, you get to banish a Psychic from your deck, and if you do, this card's level becomes that monster. Now, all the Kashtiras are Psychic, with the exception of Rise Heart, which means that, you can banish a Unicorn, banish a Fenrir, get them where you want them, and then bring them back with, a Birth, while also turning this guy into, a free normal summon level 7. We're on 3 cards of Ash Blossom. This card's great, mostly because you can normal it and make Baron, which is very funny. But it's Ash, just beat Max C, be a good hand trap, etc., etc. And then we got a copy of Water Enchantress, extra copies of, Rite of Aramesir. We're on 2 copies of Rise Heart. Again, I'd prefer to be playing 3, but I don't have enough URs, just how it goes sometimes. 3 copies of Ascendant of Thunder. You just pay 3,000, summon a free level 7. He's a free level 7. There's nothing more to it than that. And then we got Illegal Knight and Griffin Rider. Illegal Knight specifically is really great because he's a really good small world bridge between pretty much everything, because he doesn't share any stat lines with any of the Kashtiras or any attributes, which, unlike Griffin Rider, who shares Wind with Unicorn, it just matters slightly. He's also just, another free level 7 who I happen to own. 2 copies of Fenrir. I wish I could play 3. I would do anything to play 3 copies of Fenrir, because then it would be worth splashing in Lab, but, we gotta do what you gotta do. 3 copies of Unicorn. It's Unicorn. It's gonna search Birth. It's gonna facilitate your entire grind game. It's also gonna, rip out of the extra, which is hilarious. And then a copy of Ogre. It's Ogre. He's not really ideal, but he searches Prep, which is, you gotta kind of play extra names just because we don't have all of them. And then a copy of Reinforcements. This is just an extra copy of Rise Heart. You can play the 4th copy of Rise Heart anyways. I think you should, because, you need to find your names very desperately. And then 2 Small World. Pretty much everything bridges between, Illegal Knight and Side Beast with your hand traps, or it bridges with something like, a Water Enchantress or something. You can pretty much reach any other Kashtira monster from any monster in your deck. With Small World, I probably could play 3. I'm not totally sure about it, but I like it at 2. You don't want to brick on multiple copies. And then 2 copies of Right. Gotta have something for our Adventure Engine. And then Instant Contact. This is just instant fusion for level 7 or lower Neospatian monsters. We're playing 2 copies of Dark Neos as the target, just because, you don't want to get Diabolus ripped and then just have a dead card in your hand. Also, the extra deck is pretty free because we don't have a Rise Heart, so we don't have to play targets for it to be picked up off Prosperity. And then I have a copy of Draco back, a copy of Fateful, and then 3 copies of Birth. This is the best card in the deck. If you're unfamiliar, it lets you normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing, and during your main phase, you can special summon one of your non-Xyz Kashtira monsters that's banished or in your graveyard, and if your opponent activates a spell, card, or effect, and you control a Kashtira monster, you get to target 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard, banish them face down. Now this is important because you can only use it if they have at least 3 cards in their graveyard. If they don't, you can't activate this card, which really sucks. And then have 2 copies of Called By, 2 Imparm, and a copy of Prep. If you're unfamiliar with this one, I wouldn't blame you. This card is kind of weird. During either player's turn, you can special summon one of your Kashtira monsters that's banished or in your hand. It's a weird grind card, but usually it just gets evenly matched and stuff. But if your opponent also activates a trap card while you control a Kashtira monster and this card is already face up on the field in your spell trap zone, you get to look at your opponent's hand, and if you do, you get to banish a card from it face down. It comes up sometimes. I haven't had it come up yet, but it kind of plays around Imperm when they want to Imperm Shang. But I don't know why they would ever Imperm Shang instead of a Unicorn or something. In the extra, I have 2 copies of Dark Neos for instant contact, a copy of Baron to make with a normal summon to Ash, 2 copies of Big Eye that once per turn you get to target detach a material from this card, target a monster your opponent controls, take control of that monster, and then you can't attack with this card during the turn you activate this effect. Just permanent Snatch Steal, just so good. Especially with everyone playing Fenrir and stuff, the ability to just take your opponent's monster with something like an Ascendant of Thunder and an Illegal Knight you've just opened, 2 level 7s who aren't Kashtira monsters, to take your opponent's monster and then kickstart your entire engine is just so strong. We then have a copy of Red Flare. It matters sometimes, just when you get them low and you can't finish them. Two copies of Diabolus. Show me that extra. Once per turn, you get to detach material from this card. Look at your opponent's extra deck, banish a monster from it face down. And at the end of the battle phase of this card, destroy an opponent's monster by battle. You get to target a card in your opponent's graveyard, banish it face down. And if a card in your opponent's owns and possesses it is banished face down while you control this card, except during the damage step, you get to banish cards off the top of their deck face down, equal to the number of face down banished cards they control. Just a really funny, really toxic card. I love it a lot. Dark Armed Dragon in Xyz. Once per turn, if you have exactly 5 monsters or greater, you can XC summon using a level 5 or higher Dark Dragon monster. That's irrelevant, but you can detach a card from this card, then target a card your opponent controls, destroy it, then banish a card from your graveyard, and then this card can't attack. So it just like cycles your Kashtiras to be banished and stuff, and then on top of that, it's just removal. And then we have 2 copies of Shang. During each standby phase, you get to special summon a Kashtira monster from your deck, which is, you know, just an insane effect, just e-telling. And each time a card your opponent owns and possesses is banished face down, you get to choose an unused main monster zone or spell trap zone. It can't be used while this monster is face up on the field. And if it would be destroyed, you get to detach material from it instead. Just ridiculous. We have a copy of Zeus and a copy of Donner, and then a copy of Unicorn and a copy of Goddess. So with that, let's hop into some games. Now, our first replay is up against my favorite deck, Labyrinth. Of course, they've drawn Ariana plus Lady because they're just nice with it. We'll fire Imperm here. There's not really going to be a better target. And subsequently, they'll, chain Lady because they're the best player. They'll sap 1 as we have denied them the ability to reach a copy of, more copies of Big Welcome, Furniture, etc., etc. We'll draw a Unicorn for turn, which is great for us. We'll go for Duster here just to force out this back row and, get out of the way whatever Lady's set is. We'll set EEV, summon a copy of Ariana. I think they thought that, EEV wouldn't be destroyed for some reason. That's my business. Their business, though. From here, we'll special Unicorn. We'll fire Enchantress. We'll go off for right. Get Fateful. We will Unicorn for Birth here, and we are well off to the races. Now from here, we will special out this copy of Ascendant of Thunder. We'll grab, of course, Draco back. We'll get Wandering Griffin Rider. Pitch Draco back. You've seen this play before. And then we'll chain the Griffin Rider to the return of Draco back. From here, we're going to overlay. We're going to make Diabolus the Mind Hacker. And then we're going to rip a card out of their extra deck. We'll take that Zeus. And from here, we're going to bring back this copy of Unicorn, so we have an extra 7. From here, we will pop the Ariana so that Diabolus triggers, at the end of battle. And then we'll rip this copy of their Royal Rare Alt-Art Unicorn. They'll go for, a copy of Chandra here. End phase, end of battle. We'll rip that Welcome out. Then we'll banish some more cards off the top. From here, we will put that card back in your hand. And then we're going to make Big Eye. We're going to take your Lady. And they're going to scoop it up because they know they can't do anything without that Lady. This is just a really great demonstration of why Big Eye is so good. Permanent Snatch Steal / Change of Heart is just unbelievable. Just such a good monster, especially in a world where, Fenrir is semied. You can take your opponent's Kashtira monsters, just so good. Now, our next match is, it's a bit of a banger. We're going first, so we'll start with, Small World. This is why Illegal Knight is so great, because he's a great Small World bridge. He's a 7 who doesn't, have attack that lines up or an attribute that lines up. I misplayed here. I should have special Unicorn first, try to bait out that Ash, get an extra deck rip. But, it is what it is. I'm not perfect. I haven't played this deck a ton, especially, before they had all the good cards, like Wraithsoth and Theosis. But we'll go get Riseheart here. We'll special out the Unicorn because it's a Unicorn. We'll go get a copy of Birth. We'll fire this Birth here. Unfortunately, we don't get to lock an extra zone with Shang, which really sucks, but we'll banish the Fenrir for Riseheart. We will proceed to rip 3 cards off the top of the deck. We'll bring back this Fenrir here. We'll trigger Fenrir for Ogre, and from here we're going to normal the Ogre, and then proceed to go get Prep, which is really great for us. From here we're going to overlay. We're going to make Diabolus the Mind Hacker, so show me that extra. We're going to take the Zeus out, of course, because there's only 1 copy. We'll lock a zone, banish some more cards off the top of our opponent's deck, lock another zone. No penduluming for you today, and on draw we will flip up Prep to play around, Imperm. From here we are going to, get out Fenrir and get evenly matched. This is why Birth is so great on the crackback, especially because you're going to get back all your monsters that are underneath. And our opponent is also on Kashtira. They'll fire Fateful, fire Riseheart, and from here they're going to go get, Wandering Griffin Rider. And they can't clear this copy of, the boy, Birth, and subsequently it's going to cost them the entire match. You're going to see that in a little bit. They'll go get Enchantress, go get Right, banish a copy of their own Fenrir, and then rip 3 cards off the top of our deck. It really sucks for us. They hit a Unicorn. And from here they're going to rip out our own copy of Diabolus. This really sucks, but, it's a-okay. It's not the end of the world. End phase, They'll make their token and pass back to us. Draw phase, they'll flip up prep, get back their Fenrir. And this is pretty much a-okay because we've drawn a 7. We'll fire Duster here just to clear their stump. We'll get back our own Fenrir. We'll go to battle here, clear their token, clear their Fen, so that we can play the game. And from here, we're going to activate Instant Contact. We're going to get out this copy of, you know, our big old vanilla. We'll get a copy of Unicorn. We'll make Big Eye. And then we're going to take that copy of Diabolus. You took ours, so show me that extra, baby. And our opponent's going to scoop it up as we're going to rip like 20 cards off the top of their deck. This is why I love Big Eye in this deck so much. He's probably the secret best rank 7. Just so underrated, especially in the mirror with everyone running Fenrir. Now, it's time for, you know, another mediocre hand, as we have not opened any of the important names, and we're going second. But fortunately, we've opened Birth plus Rise, which is really great for us. From our opponent's going to start with, you know, a copy of Magnemite. They'll special Rise Heart, you know, mill some cards off the top. They'll rip, you know, a copy of Fenrir, which really sucks. Fortunately for them, they have Bricked, which is good news for us, though. As we're going to draw for turn and find a copy of Wandering Griffin Rider, which is exactly what we need. He's a free level 7. And we'll go for, you know, Instant Contact here. We're going to make, you know, it's the boy, it's Shang. From here, we're going to fire Rise Heart because we need a Kashtira on field to use it. We'll banish Fenrir, and then proceed to lock a zone. We'll get back our Fen here. Fen's going to grab us a copy of Ogre because, you know, we don't really need Unicorn right now. We already have Birth. From here, we're going to go get a copy of Prep. And then we're going to make Diabolus the Mind Hacker. It's the boy. We're going to go to battle here. We're going to banish their copy of Magnemite face down, lock another zone. From here, we're going to, you know, banish a whole bunch more. End of battle. You know, it's the boy. We're going to banish your Rise Heart face down, lock another zone, main 2, show me that extra. We're going to take that Zeus right out from underneath you, and then we're going to banish a whole bunch of cards, and all of your spell zones are gone, my friend. We're going to set 3 and pass because I'm the evilest bastard on the planet. And then draw phase, we'll go for prep, just to insulate ourselves from absolutely nothing. We'll get out a copy of Unicorn. They'll go to battle thinking they can evenly match us, and no siree, you don't have any spell zones, good sir. It just really shows you how much Cash can just rip apart boards and extend even further beyond when you just have full combo. Just ridiculous stuff. Shang is a crazy, crazy card, so is Diabolus. Now, our hand's a little nice. 2 Fenrir is pretty solid, so we'll special Fenrir. You know, we're going to attempt to add a Kashtira monster. We'll be met with Ash Blossom. That's totally fine. We have pretty much everything we could ask for already because we have Small World. Just, you know, doesn't really matter to us. So we're going to go for Rise here, and then we're going to go for Birth. Unfortunately, you know, it's going to have to be a little awkward here, so we'll banish this Fenrir, we'll banish the Lethal Knight, get Ogre here. Just, you know, this hand's crazy. It's everything we could ask for. Normal the Ogre. Then we're going to go get Prep. We're going to proceed to, you know, we're going to make Shangri-La. We're going to make the boy. And then we're going to, you know, start locking down some zones here. Just, you know, very unfortunate for this poor Synchron player. So we're going to banish, you know, this Unicorn. We'll lock 1 zone. We'll bring back our Unicorn. You know, we're going to go get an extra copy of Birth on the Crackback. We're going to overlay, make Mind Hacker here. You know it already. We're going to detach Unicorn. We're going to take this Garura as a super poly target. I assure you it is in fact Synchron. And seeing as it is Synchron, we're going to start locking monster zones because they don't really care about the back row outside of like board breakers and stuff. But now that I've taken their super poly target, it's not the end of the world. They'll go for a copy of Droplet, and that's completely fine by us. Unfortunately for them, they have put 3 cards in grave, which turns on Birth, so we'll banish 3 face down, and then trigger Mind Hacker to, you know, lock some more zones. We're going to Shang BM because I'm evil. So as you can see, we have ripped, you know, 21 cards off the top of their deck. Just, you know, nice deck. They'll try to play the game. It's not happening. They just don't have, you know, the cards to do anything, especially with such limited zones. So it's time for that last match of the day. You know, of course our hand is crazy. Our opponent's going to start with Extra. I'm not sure why you're playing Extra. This is a mirror again, but that's their business. So they'll banish a Fenrir with Birth. And then they'll rip 3 cards off the top of our deck. Unfortunately, they have turned our entire adventure engine offline by hitting Fateful. They'll go get Unicorn here. They could have gotten Ogre, I think, but that's my business. Don't ask me why they do strange things. They'll make a copy of Shang here. Set 1 and pass. Our board's going to rip this apart like it's nobody's business, even without access to, you know, a copy of Fenrir. This is really good because this Ascended to Thunder is going to let us get 2 7s without activating an effect. Monster effects, specifically until Judgment, are, you know, instant contact, which is fine by me, honestly. But, hey, you do you, pal. So from here, we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna special out this copy of Unicorn. We're gonna get the Ascended of Thunder, and we're making Big Eye. You already know it. We'll detach steal their copy of Fenrir, they'll go for Ash. That's fine. Nice Ash. Called by. Such a fun card. This unfortunately turns on Birth, but they're just gonna scoop it up. They can see the writing on the wall. And, I think a third demonstration of why Big Eye is just so good when your opponent just specials a Fenrir, reaching in without activating a monster effect, and then kickstarting your entire engine just feels so good. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.